welcome to Second Shelves for the week preceding March 6th. I've got 6 books I'm going to go through this week, and yeah, the kind of a mixture of things. But first I'm going to go through 3 that I kind of quote-unquote bought. The first one I did buy, and that is Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schwab. This is the 3rd book in, now I'm blanking all of a sudden. Oh my gosh. In the Cassidy Blake series. I was like, it starts with the C. In the Cassidy Blake series, this is a middle grade series about a young girl whose parents like go explore spooky, supernatural, haunted places across the globe. Unfortunately for Cassidy, she can actually see and interact with ghosts. So I've really been enjoying the series. They always take place in the really exotic settings. Like they did the Paris like catacombs, and then they went to Prague and did some of the underground tunnels there. And in each book, there's kind of a ghost-based mystery that she needs to figure out. So super excited to read this. I've been looking forward to it for a long time, and it has been delayed like many, many times. I think it was supposed to come out mid-2020. It's been delayed a number of times, so very excited. It did just come out this Tuesday, so, you know, I got it right away. All right. The next one I bought is just a classic I've been wanting to pick up, and I found it really cheap for my Kindle, and that is A Study in Scarlet by Arthur Conan Doyle. This is the first book in the Sherlock Holmes series, and I've been wanting to read Sherlock Holmes stories for a long time, and I finally was just like, you know what, it's like 99 cents for my Kindle. I'm just going to go ahead and get it so I can read it. I was watching another booktuber who was talking about how great the Sherlock Holmes series was, and I was like, you know what, I need to like read that at some point. So very excited to read the first book in the Sherlock Holmes series. I think it will be really good. And then if you guys watched my Where to Get Free Books post a couple weeks ago, one of the things I mentioned on there was a service called BookBub that you can sign up for, and you can put in like your book preferences, and it kind of scours the web and sends you free or cheap ebook opportunities. So as I did sign up for that, and I actually really like it. It does a pretty good job of finding things that I would be interested in. And one of the books it found actually ended up being free, and that is Tentacles and Teeth by Ariel Silene. I think that's how you say her name. And this is the first book in the land of Zorniak. I think that's how you say that. Anyways, this one has got kind of mixed reviews on Goodreads, but right now the first book is free for Kindle on Amazon, and it's very much like a post-apocalyptic monster hunting novel with a lot of adventure in it, and it just sounds like something I would really love. I really like monster books and adventure, and so I thought this would be a really amazing story. Yeah, so I'm really excited to read this. Even though I know it has gotten mixed reviews, I think it'll be a fun read. All right, now we're going to get into 2 I borrowed from the library. And I am so excited to let you guys know my library is finally using Overdrive, which is compatible with my Kindle. I think I talked about in my other one, Where to Get Free Books. They're using Cloud Library, but they are using now Overdrive. So the Twin Cities area has an e-library now where I can get books. And I found out I can get both audiobooks and normal books on there. And you use the Libby app to deal with all that. So this is the first Kindle book I borrowed through there, and it worked really slick. I just said, I want this for my Kindle, and it took me to Amazon site and said, all right, send it to your Kindle. And that book is Fable by Adrienne Young. I believe this came out last year, but I've been super excited to read it because, again, it's supposed to be like a pirate adventure fantasy type of thing. And it sounds like something I would really like. And the cover is just very stunning. I do believe I read some other Adrienne Young books, but I cannot remember for the life of me what they are. Does it say? No. Anyways, very excited to read this. Again, I got this on loan as an ebook from my library, so I think it'll be a lot of fun. And then, I'm trying to think what I say. So in an effort to try out Overdrive's audiobook borrowing, because I'm a huge audiobook listener, especially since I'm driving into work more frequently again now, I wanted to see how that worked and how the Libby app worked and if I liked it as much as Audible. So this next book I just purely got because I went to available audiobooks and I sorted by fantasy, science fiction, and this one popped up and had really high reviews, and I actually started listening to it. I'm not sure I got myself into, but anyways, and that is The Fae Queen's Warriors by Tara West. This is the first book in the Dragon Defender series. I'm like not very far into it, only a couple hours into it right now, and it's kind of going to be, I think, a reverse harem fantasy, which, you know, is fine. I mean, the world building's been kind of interesting. So far, not super exciting, but we'll see where everything goes. The narrator's really good. I really like the narrator. And I got this mainly just to try out the Libby app for audiobooks and see how I liked it. And so far, I'm really impressed. Like, I have no problem with how it's working. So, yeah. All right. Then the last one I got is also an audiobook that I got through Audible this time, and that is Midlife Demon Hunter by Shannon Mayer. And this is the third book in the 40 Proof series. This is kind of marketed, it's a urban fantasy, just like flat out urban fantasy, but it's marketed also as women's fiction because the woman who is the main protagonist is older. She's in her mid-40s, and she had, like, when she was younger, she left kind of the supernatural paranormal world and went through a really horrible marriage, and now in her 40s, she's divorced and coming back to the paranormal supernatural world. And I am really growing to like completely love this series. The characters are amazing. There's a really cool plot and the world is really interesting. They've got like Bigfoots and of course like werewolves, vampires, but also like sea creatures, and just like it's a very wide breadth of like monsters, paranormal things, and supernatural things. And of course in this one, demons are dealt with. So just very snarky and funny and lots of fun characters. My only complaint about this series still is our main character is really bitter kind of towards men in general, which she has reason to be because she did go through a very, very bad marriage. And she like fesses up that was her fault. She made bad choices or whatever. But she still does kind of a lot of man bashing, and it's getting better as the series goes on. Like there isn't as much of it, but I don't really like that. And the only other thing that I wish would stop, and this is also decreasing as I go through the series, is there's a lot of her joking about her age and how old she is, and talk about like how many painkillers she needs to take and all that. And like while I can sympathize with, you know, your knees hurting after 200 steps, I feel like maybe there's just a little bit of too much emphasis on it. But as I said, both the male bashing and the age jokes are kind of decreasing, and I kind of like some of it. I mean, when she talks about having trouble getting up or something, and like, as somebody who's pretty much the same age as this heroine in the book, I get it, right? You know, and anyways, it's a very funny series, but it is very much aimed at women who are in their like 30s and 40s. And I don't know, I think a lot of people might enjoy it though, because it is very funny and it's got a really great cast of characters, and there's a pretty good both overarching story that goes on from book to book, as well as like contained story and mystery for each book, which is my favorite kind of urban fantasy series to read. So those are the 6 books I got this week. I realize this sweatshirt looks a little bit weird on this camera. It happens to be the Cheshire Cat, so now you know. My son really wanted some more of like these thin polyester sweatshirts, and I was like, really, dude? And then I saw this Cheshire Cat one, so I got one for myself while I was getting some for him. And they are super comfortable. They're like lightweight, but they're really comfortable. And the best part is we have cats, and the cat hair doesn't stick to this material like at all. So win-win. They are great. I want to order a couple more, to be honest, since I've been working at home more. And I just had to get this Cheshire Cat one, which I know is kind of tacky, but it's just so funny. So yeah, that was exciting, I guess. It is quite a bit warmer here right now for us. We are in our 50s. We'll be in the 60s this weekend. So that just makes everybody in a better mood. All the ice and snow is melted off of the roads. We will have snow in our yards for a long time still, but it's getting there, you know, maybe in a couple more weeks of this, and we might start to see some grass at some point. But very, very exciting to have that happening. My son is back in school 2 days a week, and he will be starting full time the end of March. So I think that's pretty exciting. He's a much happier kid when he goes to school, and we know it's high risk. We actually talked about having him stay online, but when he comes home from school, he just has so much to talk about and so much energy, and he's just so much more animated than how he has been doing the online learning. And he was just talking about how nice it is. He can just grab his math teacher and ask her a question rather than having to do like a team hangout and all this other stuff. So yeah, very excited about that. Just a lot of exciting stuff going on. I got moved to like a super nice cubicle at my work, which is so corporate, but it is very nice. I have like floor to ceiling windows now, so like I actually kind of like my cubicle at work. I was on an aisle one before where people walk by all the time. I hated it. So that was kind of nice. Yeah, and you know, our infection rates remain very low in Minnesota. We have not been vaccinated yet, but my parents were vaccinated, and I know some of my coworkers who are older are getting vaccinated now, and some of the younger employees that serve as like ERTs, the emergency response folks, and some of those are getting vaccinated too. And in general, there's just a very like positive, more joyful tone to life right now, which I'm really enjoying. So yeah, anyways, I hope that you guys are enjoying warmer weather wherever you are, and that you got some great books to read this week, and that you have a great week of reading ahead of you. I will talk to you next Wednesday, and I believe that one is going to be the best books of February. It got pushed back a little bit because my outgrade came late, and I kind of usually do my outgrade one, and then I do my best books of the month one, and so it got pushed back. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that video as well. Again, hope you got a lot of great books to read, and I will talk to you on Wednesday. Bye.